I'm a recovering addict from alcohol and cocaine, and none of my addictions compare to the sense of a prisoner I feel when it comes to nicotine. I'm addicted to nicotine. I have cigarettes, I vape, get these little cool jewel pods that, you know, I make up belief in my head that, hey, I'm going to switch to vaping and it's not as bad as smoking, and then I'll quit vaping. Bullshit. I did the same thing with fucking chewing tobacco, so I already know where my brain's going with it. It is the hardest addiction though. And it's the dumbest one too. I mean, I started off smoking cigars thinking I was cool at 16, started smoking cigarettes at 17, and I thought I was going to live forever, so it didn't really fucking matter to me. I was like, dude, you know, I can quit this shit anytime. I'm invincible. I mean, when the younger that we are, the more invincible we fucking feel. And we're going to live forever and nothing's going to hurt us, which is complete bullshit. But that's how I felt, and that's what I thought. Started smoking cigarettes, eventually got up to smoking at least a pack a day. Once I got out of school, it got worse because, you know, I didn't have school to take up the fucking time and like sneak out during lunch and have a couple cigarettes, and a couple cigarettes before school and a couple cigarettes after school. I was now on my own schedule. I could smoke whenever the fuck I wanted to, which made it even worse. And it's an expensive habit. It does absolutely fucking nothing for you. But the addiction side of nicotine is horrible. I mean, that's why I can understand with people when it comes to opiate withdrawals and benzos withdrawals, because it is a painful like withdrawal. Nicotine withdrawal isn't going to kill you. I mean, alcohol withdrawal will kill you. I mean, people do die from alcohol withdrawal. Nicotine withdrawal, you're not going to fucking die, but it's so hard, and it's also so easy to get. And like my brain doesn't comprehend it the same way as it did with alcohol and cocaine. Alcohol and cocaine, like I knew that shit was wrecking me. With nicotine, I know it is, but it's not as like life altering in the sense that in the morning at 7:30 in the morning, your body and your brain knows, hey, I shouldn't be doing shots right now in the morning. Like there's something fucking wrong here. With cigarettes though, and with any kind of nicotine I've used, my brain doesn't think that way. You know, I would get up because I'd be shaking, withdrawals from alcohol, and I'd do shots to get the shaking to stop, to get the fucking body ache to stop, get my mind clear, to get the buzz going. With nicotine, it's like just like, oh, get up, smoke a couple cigarettes, and I grab a cup of coffee, and it doesn't register in my brain like, hey, dude, you're fucking killing yourself. I'm not getting a high or anything out of it. I'm satisfying, and I have me time. And I like re-justify it in my brain. And that's the thing that sucks about it, because smoking is accepted kind of like alcohol is accepted. You know, there's those people that, oh, I only go smoke if I go out and party a little bit. I'm not that way. I'm a true addict. I'm all in. I mean, as you can tell, I got 2 packs of cigarettes here. I smoke either 2 packs of cigarettes a day, or I'll go through like 3 jewel pods a fucking day, 2 jewel pods a day. And vaping comes out. I mean, at least with smoking, when I was smoking and only smoking before vaping, if the weather was really shitty outside, because I never smoked in my house or any of the apartments or anywhere that I ever lived, when the weather was bad outside, like I would not smoke nearly as much. Well, now with vaping, oh, it's bad outside, whatever. I just, keep doing what I'm doing, and now I'm vaping. Even made up in my head, I'm going to go to vaping so I could quit smoking. That shit doesn't work. You're just trading off the addiction. It's still nicotine, which is the addiction. I mean, I would do anything in the world to go back to who I was and just be like, dude, do not fucking start this shit. I mean, it's as bad as what alcohol and cocaine was on the addiction side, but it's legal. You know, I need cigarettes. I go down to the fucking gas station. Doesn't matter what the price is. I need them. Oh, that first hit. Oh my God, so relieving. Oh, fuck. And I mean, I have friends that vape, and dude, you're sucking on that fucking vape nonstop. You know, just like with me, if I can chain smoke, I mean, one goes out, another one's lit. And then I smoke 2 in a row because I'd be like, oh, this will give me a longer, periods in between. No. I mean, nicotine addiction is just like any other addiction out there, other than the fact that you're not almost transformed into a different monster. I mean, alcohol alters your personality. Cocaine altered my personality. Nicotine doesn't necessarily alter my personality. The withdrawal does. You get cranky, you're irritated, you're pissed at the fucking world. I even quit once it was about 9 months. And I quit using gum, using patches. I had hit that point just like with addiction where it was like sick and tired of being sick and tired. I had just almost lost my grandfather, and I'm like, dude, I got to quit smoking because I don't want to die. got on those. I mean, I'm tracking the hours the first couple days. I mean, I'm tracking the 2 hours as went by, 3 hours as went by, rubbing the fucking patch, trying to get that shit to fucking rub in, chewing the fucking gum, rolling the patch in the gum, whatever it took, licking the fucking patch. I mean, that's an exaggeration, but I mean, that's what it was like. I mean, just that itch was there. And if you have nicotine addiction, you know what I'm talking about, that whole itch. It was like with any addiction. But I'd quit, and it takes about 28 days to break a habit. So I was proud of myself, and I started noticing I'm saving a little bit of money, all that stuff. I traded off and started using suckers because I tried it before with chewing tobacco, and I just got hooked to chewing tobacco, and then swapped myself back over to cigarettes because I thought spitting in a fucking cup was gross. And I ended up just fucking being stupid, thinking I had control of my addiction, and somebody had offered me a cigarette, and we're all standing outside talking. I'm like, yeah. And that's, again, just like with any of the relapses that I've done with any of the drugs and alcohol that I was addicted to. Started with one, then see, hey, bumming one more, a day later. Next thing you know, I'm buying a pack. Next thing you know, I'm buying a pack every fucking day. And it just went back to where I was. It is that struggle. And I mean, you smell bad, and yeah, it's going to kill you. You know that, but it's not like an immediate death where, like with alcohol, like I could feel myself deteriorating. With cocaine, I knew it was going to kill me quick. I knew I was going to have a heart attack. With cigarettes, so it's like a slow, painful, long death. And we don't notice the days. Other than the fact that we just keep smoking. All of a sudden you got a little bit of a cough. Can't run as fast. I mean, it's so slow that we almost justify it. Damn, man, all I can say, dude, is anybody out there that's smoking, dude, it's a fucking horrible addiction, man. It's just like any other fucking addiction out there. And you're a prisoner to it. I mean, you smell like shit. And even if you vape, okay, you might not smell and all that. You're out there looking like a fucking chimney, though. And we know our own because, well, I vape too. I don't have the fucking big ass fucking vapes and the juices and stuff like that. My skin's getting dyed from the juices, but my skin get dyes from the nicotine. And you see it and you're like, fuck, you're scrubbing your fucking hands. I'm in sales, so washing, scrubbing your face down after you smoke so that you don't smell bad for the customers, even though you still fucking reek. Anybody that's struggling with nicotine addiction, I mean, just don't trade off. I mean, this shit isn't cool. Like, this isn't cool. Like, to me, this isn't cool. This, to me, is like hardcore fucking addiction. It's just in a different form. It's I can go down to the store and buy it, just like I could buy alcohol. These were like the two addictions, alcohol and nicotine, that was acceptable and accepted by society in a lot of ways. I struggle with ADHD, PTSD. I struggle with depression and anxiety. I take meds for them. And, I use excuses when it comes even to nicotine. Like, hey, my anxiety is really high. Okay, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. I mean, I that's how my brain works and justifies me using nicotine. That's okay, because that is what addiction is. And I mean, anybody is out there struggling. I mean, I'm not one to tell you how to quit smoking because, well, I'm not. I'm like the worst person to talk to when it comes to this. And I didn't even realize how bad, and it didn't even hit my brain how bad it is, because I have so many people that reach out to me for support. And people would tell me, hey, I heard you were an addict. I'm thinking they're hitting me up because of meth, or they're hitting me up because of heroin, opiates, and they're telling me how they're addicted to nicotine. And my brain, and just like an addict brain went to, I was like, who fucking cares? Like, oh, well, you're addicted to nicotine. Like, quit when you want to quit. No, it's a fucking battle. And then it started making me reanalyze, how much of an addiction it is and how much of a struggle it is. I got to get to that point, too. I got to get to that point where I'm like, hitting rock bottom, sick and tired of being sick and tired and throwing this shit away, and I'm not there. I'm not there yet. I don't think it makes me weak. I'm an addict. I get that. So if you're out there and you think it's cool, I mean, don't. Trust me, from an addict standpoint, don't. And if you are out there, and especially if you're underage, get with your parents, let them know. Get your parents to get you some help. I mean, one of the things that I do want to try is Chantix. I am afraid of Chantix, though, because I know what it does when we struggle with mental health, because there are side effects to it. But I want to try it. I've tried Wellbutrin. Wellbutrin didn't work for me. Wellbutrin has worked for other people. That didn't work for me. I tried Wellbutrin back in my early 20s. I was actually prescribed it, and it wasn't even for necessarily the nicotine purposes. It's when I was going through my trial and error for depression meds. I was on it for 60 days and it didn't do anything for me. But I know that it has helped people, and that's where it comes down to. I mean, it's trial and error. But if you are addicted to nicotine, get with your parents if you're underage, man. Just ask them for help. I guarantee your parents might be pissed at first, but they're going to want to help you. They're going to want to help you and figure out a way to help you break through that addiction. That's my best suggestion I could say for somebody who's struggling with it. Because, like, for me to say, hey, guess what? Here's how I quit. I can't. I mean, I quit for 9 months, and I don't even count that as like a success, because then I relapsed essentially back on it and went back to smoking. It affects the way that shit tastes. It affects the smell, sense of smell. It affects everything around you, and it's just gross. I mean, if you're dating people, they don't want to kiss a fucking ashtray. I don't blame them. It's fucking nasty. But I do it, and that's addiction. So if you're out there struggling with it, man, my suggestion is, if you want to taste like a fucking ashtray and you want to spend a bunch of money on shit that doesn't even do anything for you, and trust me, after a while, it ain't fucking cool anymore, then why do it? Because it was one of the worst things that I've done, and I'm still fighting it. But get with your parents again, man. Get with your doctor even. You know, there's tons of different treatments for it. I mean, you can do the rubber bands. I mean, there's a lot. Get somebody to help keep you accountable, keep yourself accountable. And I'm not a big firm believer in the weaning off, because I've tried that so many times where, okay, I'm only going to smoke 7 today. I'll do that tomorrow now. Shit don't work. Face it, that's what addiction is. I'll start tomorrow. But if you are struggling with nicotine addiction, my heart goes out to you, because I know how much of a battle it is. But get some help, and get some support. Get with your parents. You know, get with your doctor. Get to that point that you realize it before you've been doing it for years and years and years, and then you justify it. Because once you start justifying it is when it's hard. That's when it's hard. And it's a battle. But I know a lot of people that have quit. And you can too if you want to. And I know that I need to. Hit that like and subscribe button. I'd love to know your nicotine withdrawals and nicotine stories. I mean, how you quit even for my own sake, because I'm curious of how other people quit, because it is one of those things that I do have to quit. And I know that. It drives me bonkers. You know, I created a nonprofit. It's called Driven Together. I lost a wife and a father to suicide. I'm a recovering addict to alcohol and cocaine. I'm diagnosed with ADHD, PTSD, depression, anxiety. And I wanted to create something that bridged the gap between a crisis hotline and therapy, of tools, experiences, resources, support, to make sure that nobody goes through it alone. I have links to mental health Discord communities in the description. I have links to things that I use for anxiety, like fidget spinners and fidget cubes, that are help me cope with certain things. Even have a link down below to BetterHelp if you want to try online therapy, because it's trial and error to find out what works for you. That's why I'm really curious about the comments down below, because I want to see what else I haven't tried out there that would help somebody, because it might help me. I mean, that's the whole thing. It might help me too. I mean, I'm being a little bit selfish on this. So hit that like and subscribe button, comment down below. I'd love to have you along for the journey, because you're a BAMP. You're a badass motherfucker. You've made it through 100% of your worst days and make it through 2 today. And you got this.